Greetings, community, and welcome to NCBD Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 1/29, 2025. And here we are once more. It's great to be alive. Appreciate everyone cruising on in on the rewind. Without you, it'd only be half as fun as it actually is. And with you, well, it's at twice as much fun. But I do want to take a moment and take the time to acknowledge those that cruise on in real time. Christina, I appreciate you cruising in to dance with me and hanging out with me 65 feet up in the air. And you know what I mean, and no one else needs to know. And hey, Las Cruces, I appreciate you being here, brother. I hope all is well with you. Jag, hey, I hope you're having a good evening tonight. And hope looking forward to New Comic Book Day. And look at that. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing great. And yeah, it's been a little bit, and let's get into it. I just can't wait. So let's start off by cruising on in over at IDW and talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 6. Let's just say that the reunion of the Turtles not only didn't quite go as expected, I think, as for the readers, but hey, I can tell you right now, not one of those turtles are really happy to see one another. One of them's kind of lost his mind. The other ones are just kind of bearing to be with one another and keep the other one from losing his mind. But hey, again, as a reader, I'm not only taken back by how well it's written, but how enjoyable it is, and so much fun it is to read a series that I have no idea what to expect next. And that's exactly what I've been getting. And that's what so much I've been enjoying about the series, because it's been taking characters that I already know that are pre-existing and just expanding on this world and giving me lefts and rights when I thought the road was rather straight. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 6 coming out tomorrow, 1/29, 2025. All right, moving on from that, let's go ahead and talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin Revolution issue number 4. It seems like it's been a generation ago since this book come out, and I have no recall of issue number 3 at all. I have to admit that I'm not only a little bit behind, but it just seems like it's been so long since this issue came out, meaning 3, that issue number 4 coming out tomorrow. There's like a disconnect. I don't have any recall. I just know that thus far, for the first 2 issues that I did read, Re-Evolution does take off in the next generation era of the TMNT Last Ronin, and gives us the next generation of Turtles, and it allows us to see what we saw as a teaser on the last issue of issue number 5 of The Last Ronin. That makes sense. And I did enjoy the first 2 issues. I just can't remember 3. That doesn't mean that it isn't one of my most anticipated reads. It just means that I just anticipate not only reading it, but remembering what the hell I was reading. That makes sense. Yeah, maybe that could be it too. I'm just so dabbed out. Who knows? But I do know that I am looking forward to reading that book. TMNT has not only been well written on all aspects when it comes to TMNT, the original series, TMNT, The Last Ronin Re-Evolution, and TMNT when it came to Night Watch, and then also the other one that is can't remember right now, but it's been building on the city. So I've really been enjoying all 4 aspects of what's been coming out. It's just that because of that and everything else I read, I just don't remember that one issue. Sorry. But moving out from IDW and cruising over to Dark Horse, let's talk about Nightclub, issue number 5. I think this is it too, but Mark, dude, seriously, Miller, what the hell? You get me all wrapped up and really involved, really invested in these characters in the first series, the first volume. And then you seriously, is this what you do to these kids? They made it through all the way to the big game. They made it through this major event. And holy mackerel, dude, you do this to the characters, but I didn't expect this. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be talking to the readers. Readers, I can't believe what Mark Miller's doing to these characters in the series. It is one of the raddest things I've seen happen in a long time, and especially if you're a fan of Mark Miller's and the way he writes, you kind of expected it, but it didn't happen in the first series. Here these kids are turning into vampires, and they're only trying to do the right thing. And in the first series, this is exactly what they did. When we went into the big game, they played their role really well. So a few people pretty got jacked up, but they got away relatively unscathed. And then we get to this series where people are getting offed like forever. It's gnarly and I'm enjoying it. And actually, this is probably one of the better horror series that I've been reading because it's been giving me something not only that, again, not expected, but it's been giving me something that I really quite enjoyed, which is it's touching on other aspects that Mark has written in the past and does draw a direct connection indirectly, which is really freaking awesome, if you know what I mean. And so he'll touch on aspects, he'll talk about it, and then you understand why certain people did certain things. So cool. Nightclub, being that it's only in its second series, is not only a relatively recent series, but it's really, really easy to jump into because I wasn't really that familiar with all Mark Miller's and stuff in the past. And getting there, that it allowed me to desire to go back in the past and read some of his past works because it tied in directly. Nightclub issue number 5 coming out 129 2025 is a high recommend, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Almost made the blue light special. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about Turtles of Grayskull issue number 3. Somehow for me, this one kind of flew under the radar because I ordered issue number 1 on a pre-order. I ordered issue number 4, but there was a couple of fingers that are missing. And I missed issue 2 and 3. So I'm looking forward to not only getting my hands on issue number 3 coming out tomorrow, but I'm kind of puzzled and still trying to piece together what the heck happened. Anyways, Turtles of Grayskull is probably one of the better blends, better crossovers that I've seen between not only characters and universes, but I mean, you're talking pretty leaps and bounds away from exactly where these people reside. And it's been really enjoyable, especially Michelangelo, I think, is having the most fun outside of myself reading this thing. And that's what's been really funny is how everyone's contending with him. And the importance that actually came into number 2, it got rather serious a couple moments, and I was like, oh, okay, now this is getting kind of serious. But hey, the levity and the comic relief that Mike always brings, and sometimes this situation is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I look for when it comes to crossovers, and you know me, I'm a sucker for a crossover anyway. So, Turtles of Grayskull is just definitely one of those things, issue number 3, that I'm looking forward to picking up tomorrow, 1/29, 2025. Let's move away from the Dark Horse and cruise over to Image. So they're going to give us Red Coat issue number 9. I said this before when I was talking about my pre-order unboxing that Red Coat is actually one of my favorite of the series in that Ghost Machine universe because it allows a person to be a little bit introspective while reading this thing if that person allows them such. What I do enjoy about reading how much this individual has wasted so much of his life when he has so much life to give because he's immortal. There's a lot of irony there, right? I mean, and then there's certain oxymorons that are thrown in there, and there's all this other symbolisms and all this other stuff. And then when they actually tie in direct history directly into the storyline, it just, so cool. Benedict Arnold is a dick. I'm just saying. So Red Coat issue number 9 is a high recommend, and I can't wait to get my hands on to this book tomorrow. I'm going to be busy, but I'm definitely going to be picking up some of these things at the store. I'm going to sneak it in there early, and I'm going to end up picking up a couple books, and can't wait to read these things. Moving on from that, let's talk about Seasons, issue number 1 by Rick Remender. Now, this would have been my Blue Light special. Truly. However, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope all is well. The reason why I wasn't is because I ended up picking up the Ash Can about a month ago. Actually, I think I got 2 of them. I didn't make mention of this earlier. I am working. And that's why I'm not able to do the things that I kind of want to do. Not only go to a signing event with Rick Remender tomorrow over at Collector's Paradise in Pasadena. I won't even be able to pick up my books over at that shop or another shop. And I think my slabs are ready at another shop. Seriously. The Grammys are happening right now. And that's what I was talking about before. I was hanging out around 65 feet above and taking some shots and doing some work in some pretty high risky places. And I just wanted to record it before, No, I did this. So what I'm getting at is I'm not able to attend a couple of events tomorrow and a couple of things, and I'm kind of bummed. But hey, that doesn't remove the fact that I can't wait to reread this book. Like I said, I read it a month ago and I really enjoyed it. And I don't think rereading is going to do me any harm. At the same point, I'm not quite certain if there's going to be any more pages in it than I haven't already missed. I'll reverse that. So I'm looking forward to jumping into rereading this book just to remind myself. And I know issue number 2 is going to come out relatively soon. I know it's on schedule from what I'm seeing. Oh, I just realized I still got my little pass on. So anyway, Seasons issue number 1 is coming out 129, 2025. It is a story of 4 sisters. They're trying to solve, well, the one sister's trying to solve where her other 3 sisters are, and it's an ongoing series. There's a lot of peril, there's a lot of twists, a lot of turns in the fantasy world that I really like and enjoy. The palette's great. The art's wonderful. I mean, it really does depict what's going on. And there's this eeriness that's always oozing from not only the words, but the pages itself. It's a very enjoyable read. I had a lot of time to enjoy the Ash Can in the sense of I did read it twice in a period of 2 days because I wanted to reread it. And I do want to reread this just in case I miss anything. Like I said before, if I hadn't already read it twice, I would have put this on my blue light special. So I do highly recommend this book. Seasons issue number 1 coming out tomorrow. Let's move away from Image and cruise over to Marvel, and let's talk about Hell Hunters issue number 2. I didn't read issue number 1. Just being honest. But I did flip through the pages. I did like the art. I like what's going, on, and theoretically the storyline that's supposed to lead into this. And this storyline, we get Wolverine jumping in with the team. So I really don't know a whole lot about it. But it doesn't mean that I ain't looking forward to reading this. I have a small stack there that I got to get to. There's around 20 books in there. So I'm a little behind, and that's not little. I'm a little far back from reading. I forget my little behind. What I really mean is I'm just a little late and I'm getting up to, catching up to all the books. So I'm looking forward to actually jumping on Hell Hunters issue number 2 because I not only have been enjoying all this Hell Hunter stuff and Wolverine and Elverine and all these things that have been leading and surrounding each other, but it does seem like since we're getting Wolverine to jump in this, it does bring a little more continuity into what I've been reading, if that makes sense. And it just seems cool. If you're already reading the Hell Hunter stuff, or you've been reading the Wolverine stuff, or even Wolverine, I do kind of recommend this miniseries. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet. And I've just been enjoying issue number 1 so far. Let's move on from Hell Hunters issue number 2 and talk about What If Galactus Transformed Spider-Gwen issue number 1. This is the one that I've actually been waiting of all these what ifs of the Galactus. Seriously. This one is, I like Spider-Gwen. This is the one that I really thought would be kind of interesting in me. When we saw, what is that, Star Spider or something like that, where, shoots the web through and cruises across the galaxy and stuff, that's just kind of the same mentality I think is going to end up happening, except for, Gwen is going to have her board and they'll be able to shoot her. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun. I am not only a, Gwen Stacy fan, but Spider-Gwen. I'm not only a Spider-Gwen fan, but I do like the idea of Galactus taking various Marvel characters and turning them into his herald. I think that's kind of cool. And I'm a what if sucker anyways. I've explained in the past before that I do enjoy the fact that Marvel will allow writers to kind of break away from the norms or the stringent things that they normally have to write within, these little boundaries on these what if tales. And it just makes it a little, enjoyable, because a little more enjoyable because that they're allowed to express themselves personally a little bit more than they're usually allowed to when they make these submissions into the offices normally at like Marvel. All right, hey, but you know what we're here to talk about? You guessed it. You probably actually already guessed the character, which is in the storyline in there. Yes, it's Spider-Boy. Again, issue number 15. Yeah, this has had been made it on there. I don't know, at least. I appreciate you being here, Rod. Hope all is well. At least, I don't know, lowballing it 4 times. Spider-Boy is actually one of my more cleansing palate and really enjoyable reading type books. And what I mean by that is when I read something that's easy, too horrific in succession, like 2 or 3 books that are horror based, or something that's a little too silly, like, 2 or 3 books from Deadpool or something like that, or something that is just like freakish, like, I don't know, something really suspenseful, like Exorcism at 1600. I need something to cleanse the palate. Usually all ages books does that for me. Canto, fills my heart. Spider Boy, in the case of what we're talking about right now, when you take a guy, character, Bailey Briggs, as young as he is and dealing with such things that he does, you never know where you're going to get. And what I mean by that is he has to deal with adult stuff. He's finally got his mom. He gets to play the hero that he wants. He's now no longer the sidekick of Spider-Man, but seemingly more the sidekick of Daredevil, who initially trained him anyways. Where he's now getting in this hardcore fight with a person that he kind of likes, but has no idea he's being manipulated by, which is Spider-Girl. And we're seeing so much transpire in such little time. And you're going to end up seeing this. What I ended up seeing recently, it was Spider-Boy, it was Gwen Stacy, it was Miles Morales. All Zap looked like they got killed. Yeah, there's going to be something coming up pretty soon. I think it was in April or March, that this character's fully integrated himself, meaning Spider-Boy, Bailey Briggs, into the Marvel universe to the point that he's not only in annuals, surrounded by other characters, jumping across and doing crossovers, but he's starting to seemingly pop up in all these different events. I dig this character. I don't know how to recommend this character to most people. I know most people think this was just nothing more than a money grab by Marvel. It's poorly written. It's, I highly recommend anyone that's actually just new to get into, especially a kid, into reading. This is definitely a good all ages book. It touches on many bases, and I'm only actually waiting for this character to start turning up into more Spider-Verse-y stuff, meaning I'm looking forward to seeing him in the next Spider-Verse cartoon. I dig this character. And you guys, as you well know, I mean, even that box right there is a Spider-Boy box. It's already packed. I got to get another one. I dig this character from long ago. I really like what this character stands for. To me, it really resonates with the original Spider-Man character was based on, as far as how it originated. And it's just, I don't know, it resonates with me. I thoroughly enjoy it. If you've been reading it ever since I've been talking about this character, I think you know and understand my passion, because you probably have a hint of it yourself if you're still reading it. And those of you that cruised on in and shared everything that I threw at you, I appreciate you so greatly. I truly do. Hey, Las Cruces, as always. Christina, absolutely. Spider Boy. Rod, hey, I appreciate you cruising on through. Fable, dude, I appreciate you cruising on in, man. You the man. Jag, as always. Mark, Las Cruces. If I missed anybody, I sincerely apologize. That doesn't mean that I don't greatly appreciate you cruising on through. And hey, and that's it for me. Entropy. Thank you very much, and I'll see you very soon, and you stay well.